Guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my updated foundation routine. I did post up a skincare routine before this video, and I will link it down in the description bar below if you guys haven't seen that yet. Also, I just want to say that I don't wear makeup every day. Makeup is just something that I wear if I don't want to look like a zombie and I want to look somewhat put together. You know, at the end of the day, it comes off. That's the beauty of makeup. Like, it can just totally transform you, not like just physically, but like internally as well. It just makes you feel so much more confident and boosts your self-esteem. Don't feel ashamed and don't let anybody bring you down, because that is like the last thing you need. If there's anything that I missed out, feel free to leave it in the comments below so I can answer any questions or comments that you guys might have. And that is all, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and let's get onto the foundation routine. Okay, so hello. I promise the lighting's not going to be like this the whole time. Okay, so I'm starting off with TheBalm's face primer. I really like this one because it's a silicone primer and it just ensures that the foundation glides on really flawlessly. It does fill in the pores and smooth out any fine lines, so that's the reason why I'm putting it on my T-zone and anywhere where I have large pores. And yeah, this lighting though, so I did go ahead and change it. And I don't know, is it better? And then I'm going in with my Marc Jacobs Remarcable foundation. This is the fullest coverage foundation that you can find in the market right now. So I'm starting off with just dotting it on my face. Now the thing about foundation is that you want to build in layers so that way you don't get a cakey look. So you want to start off with a thin layer at a time and keep adding more layers if you want a fuller coverage. And then I always use the Marc Jacobs foundation with the Lioele BB cream or with any other foundation, because I find that the Remarcable foundation looks cakey if you don't mix it in with any other foundation, on me personally. And I really like it with a BB cream because I noticed that it gives a more hydrated look. And then I always go with a beauty sponge. It's very rarely that I will go in with a brush, but I prefer a sponge because it really soaks up any leftover product that you just don't need, as well as blends out everything very flawlessly. And then if you have acne, it doesn't irritate your skin. Another reason why I like using a beauty sponge is because you can wash it and use it right away. With a brush, it's not clean all the time, and with a sponge, you can always clean it every time before you use it. And you can see that when I'm blending this out, I'm not focusing the foundation under the eyes at all, because I am going to be going under there with some concealer. So if you don't want any cakiness under your eyes and you're trying to prevent any cakiness, or if you have any fine lines under there, I will recommend not going in with a foundation under the eyes. Just focus concealer under the eyes. And then you can see that once I finish my layer, I do still have a little bit more spots peeking through. So I'm just focusing this on the outer edge of my face because that's where I want a lot more coverage. And then whatever is left over, I will just bring it into the center of my face. So I'm just going to leave the clips in so you can see my application. Now I'm taking my Rimmel Match Perfection concealer. I really like this one because it's not a full coverage concealer. I'm mostly looking for a brightening concealer when I go in with anything. And the reason why I like this is because it's thin. Since it's a thin consistency, you can see that I'm putting in a lot. And it's not going to get cakey because it's not like a heavy duty concealer. Like a concealer that I noticed caking was definitely the Maybelline Master Conceal Concealer. That one I noticed a lot more kicking compared to this one. And this one is super inexpensive too. So if you're looking for a concealer, I definitely recommend this one. I would go a shade lighter than what you would usually get because this does oxidize just a little bit. And I'm just highlighting under my eyes, my nose, my forehead, and my chin. I like to highlight the center of my face. You can just see the difference when you highlight the face. And I love highlighting because I notice that it just brings a lot more light to the face. If you want to ensure that you don't have cakey under eyes, I would just do one eye at a time, because sometimes product does dry up under the eyes, or your concealer will dry up, and then that's how you can get a cakey look as well. And I'm just taking the same sponge to blend everything out. And then you just want to really make sure that you press everything into the skin. And then I always just highlight my Cupid's bow. And then I'm going in with my Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. I always use this powder. This one is one of my favorites, and I always use the translucent extra coverage one. You don't have to go in with a loose powder, but I like it. And then my tip for you guys is that it comes with this applicator. Keep it on and use it, because you can go in with your sponge to bake your face. Your sponge is going to pick up an even amount of product, as opposed to if you take out the applicator and you just pour some of the powder onto the cap, you're not going to get an even layer of powder on your sponge. So I really recommend to keep the applicator on. Okay, so you can see that I'm bringing my powder all the way down, not all the way to the face, but I'm really going in a huge triangle under my eyes, because I have a lot of pores there and I get oily there. So this powder is really going to just kind of fill up the pores and make it look really flawless. And then you can see that when I'm applying on the powder, I don't apply it under my eyes right away. I kind of apply it on the temples first and then drag it in, because I noticed that that prevents a lot more cakiness. And then I'm just going to be baking my nose and my forehead and my chin, just so the concealer there stays brightening. You can see I'm using a lot of powder, but it does not cake up on me, and I'll show you the reason why later when we get to that part. And I like to bake my brows too. Yeah, that might be a little bit weird, but I really like it. And then see, just easy closing. Okay, now while I let that powder bake, I'm going in with a pressed powder. You don't have to, but I like going in with a pressed powder because I noticed that my foundation doesn't move around as much. And this just provides just a little bit more coverage. And I'm just applying it everywhere else where I didn't bake my face. Plus, I have really oily skin, so I have to powder my face, or else I'll just be an oil slick at the end of the day. And then once I finish putting on that powder, I go ahead and dust off my baking powder right away, because I don't want it to be sitting there too long. I noticed that if it sits on my skin too long, I do start getting a little bit cakey and really dry looking. And really take your time dusting this off. Okay, now I'm going to do the rest of my face and I'll be right back. And this is the final look. This is everything, but wait, we do need to set our face with the setting spray. This was my secret to not having a cakey look. I do have a recipe for making your own setting spray. So it's 1 part aloe vera and 3 parts water, and then just shake everything together and you're gonna get a DIY setting spray. And then once I finish that, I let it dry on my skin for a little bit. And then when my skin is just a little bit damp, not too wet, I take my sponge again and press in everything. This is going to ensure that the contour, the blush, the highlighter, and all the powders just sink into the skin. And this is also one of my secrets to getting a flawless face and flawless finish. So yeah, this is all my secrets to having a flawless base, and this is me trying to be all cute. And then this is how the skin looks like. You can see there's really no cakiness. It's just the texture of my skin and how my skin looks like. You can see the texture there, but there isn't any dryness or any cakiness. So I recommend you guys check out my skincare routine if you guys haven't yet. And this is the final look. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.